3 tips to become mentally strong. In the modern life filled with challenges and pressures, many people seek to find strength not only physically, but also mentally. Mental strength is not merely the ability to cope with difficulties, but also an inner peace, self-control, and the ability to calmly overcome psychological challenges. Buddhism has pointed out the path that helps individuals find mental strength through practice and inner transformation. This article will delve into 3 tips to help you develop mental strength from a Buddhist perspective. Tip 1. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness, Pali Sati, is one of the fundamental elements of the Noble Eightfold Path, the Eightfold Way taught by the Buddha to free oneself from suffering and attain enlightenment. Mindfulness is not something distant or lofty. It is simply the ability to clearly recognize everything happening in the present without judgment. This includes being aware of our emotions, thoughts, and the environment around us in a conscious way. Benefits of mindfulness. When practicing mindfulness, we escape the whirlpool of negative thoughts and emotions. Instead of worrying about the future or regretting the past, we focus solely on the present, the only place where life truly occurs. Continuously reflecting on the past or fearing the future drains our spirit and creates unnecessary stress. Mindfulness helps us identify and let go of those negative thoughts, keeping our minds in a state of calm and awareness. Mindfulness also enhances our ability to concentrate and make decisions. When we are fully present in each moment, our minds are not scattered by a multitude of tangled thoughts, making it easier to recognize better solutions to the problems we face. How to practice mindfulness. 1. Breath as the foundation. Start your practice by focusing on your breath. Be aware of each inhalation and exhalation, feeling the air entering and leaving your body. When your mind begins to wander, gently bring it back to your breath. 2. Mindfulness in daily activities. You don't need to spend hours meditating to practice mindfulness. You can apply mindfulness in everyday activities like eating, walking, or even while working. Focus on each movement, each sensation, and savor the small joys in those moments. 3. Observe your thoughts. When negative thoughts or uncomfortable emotions arise, instead of resisting or trying to eliminate them, simply observe them. Recognize that these thoughts are just streams in the mind and do not represent absolute truth. Tip 2. Letting go. One of the main reasons people feel suffering and mental weakness is due to attachment, clinging to things we want to control but cannot. In Buddhism, this is referred to as craving or tanha, which is the root of suffering according to the Four Noble Truths. Letting go does not mean giving up everything, but rather accepting the things that cannot be changed and not allowing them to affect our mental state. Benefits of letting go. When we cling to things that we cannot control, we only create more pressure and stress. For example, when we want everything to go our way, but life does not always align with those expectations, we feel disappointed, anxious, and lost. Letting go helps us free ourselves from the constraints of the self and personal desires, allowing our spirit to be more liberated and serene. Letting go also helps us overcome painful relationships, events, or past experiences. By not holding on to sad memories, we can open our hearts to embrace new and better things in life. How to practice letting go. 1. Accept change. Life is constantly changing, and this is inevitable. Accept that nothing is permanent and that everything is moving in its own way. This acceptance will help you avoid clinging to the past or trying to control the future. 2. Practice gratitude. Focus on the positive things you have rather than what you have lost or failed to achieve. Gratitude helps shift your perspective on life, allowing you to see that despite difficulties, there are still many beautiful things around you. 3. Forgive yourself and others. Sometimes the greatest difficulty in letting go is forgiveness. Forgiveness is not about accepting mistakes, but freeing yourself from anger, resentment, and pain. Tip 3. Practice compassion and understanding. In Buddhism, compassion and wisdom go hand in hand. The Buddha taught that true strength lies not in the ability to resist or overcome others, but in the capacity to love and understand. Compassion is unconditional love, without expectation of reward, while understanding is the ability to perceive things correctly, free from emotional influence or personal biases. Benefits of compassion and understanding. When we practice compassion, we first learn to love ourselves. This is crucial, because if we do not love and care for ourselves, it will be difficult to truly love others. Compassion allows us to view everyone and everything with an open heart, free from anger, jealousy, or prejudice. Understanding helps us develop wisdom, enabling us to see through the essence of things and phenomena. When we have deep understanding, we are less likely to be swept away by negative emotions and can face every situation with calmness and clarity. How to practice compassion and understanding. 1. Practice compassion with yourself. Start by taking care of and forgiving yourself. Recognize that you are human and making mistakes is normal. Avoid blaming or putting too much pressure on yourself. 2. Empathize and help others. Learn to listen and understand others without judgment. This will help you develop your empathy and connect with those around you. From small acts like sharing time or listening to a friend in need to larger actions, compassion will make you feel happier and stronger. 3. Reflect on impermanence and interdependence. Everything in life exists in a relationship of cause and effect, and is in constant change. Understanding this will help you develop compassion and become less rigid with others' mistakes. The connection between mindfulness, letting go, and compassion. These 3 tips, mindfulness, letting go, and compassion, are not isolated practices. They are closely interconnected. When you practice mindfulness, you can clearly identify your thoughts and emotions without getting swept away by them. This clarity makes it easier to let go, as you realize that many things are not worth clinging to and do not need to be held on to. As your soul becomes lighter and more peaceful, compassion will naturally be nurtured. You will no longer feel overly burdened when facing difficulties and can instead respond with love and understanding. Mindfulness serves as the foundation for recognizing the suffering and pain within and outside of yourself. When you practice mindfulness and accept the truth of impermanence, you learn to let go of what you cannot control. From there, you can more easily open your heart to embrace and practice compassion. Compassion is not only about helping others, but also about how you treat yourself, avoiding self-blame or weighing yourself down with unnecessary expectations. Practicing in daily life. These 3 tips are not just abstract theories. They need to be applied in everyday life. You don't need to be a monk or live in a monastery to practice mindfulness, letting go, or compassion. These practices can occur right within daily life, from work and family to personal relationships. Mindfulness at work. When working, focus entirely on the task at hand. If you engage in your work with attention and full awareness, your productivity will significantly increase and you won't feel overwhelmed. Instead of thinking about the multitude of tasks ahead, concentrate solely on the current task, addressing one thing at a time. Letting go in relationships. In relationships, especially with family or friends, there are times when we cannot control the behavior or emotions of others. Rather than trying to change or force others to conform to our desires, practice letting go. This doesn't mean abandoning the relationship, but rather accepting that everyone has their own way of living and perspectives. Letting go helps reduce stress and improve the quality of relationships. Compassion in the community. Compassion is not something extravagant. It can be expressed through small daily actions. Start by sincerely listening to others, helping those in need, and spreading kindness within the community. You may not change the world, but your compassion will change the lives of those around you. Conclusion on the journey to finding mental strength. Mental strength is not a state that can be achieved overnight. It is the result of an ongoing journey, a life connected to the core values of the soul. Mindfulness helps us be present in each moment, allowing for a deeper awareness of ourselves and the world around us. Letting go frees us from unnecessary burdens, those that only tire and weigh down the mind. And compassion, unconditional love, is the substance that creates a steadfast soul and a life full of meaning. Practicing these three principles is not merely to seek temporary peace, but to build a solid foundation for spiritual freedom, helping you navigate life's challenges without being swept away by the changes in circumstances. When we live with an awakened mind, letting go and loving, life becomes more pleasant, and true joy arises from within ourselves. If you find these values meaningful, remember that practice and transformation is a continuous journey. Continue to accompany me on this path to explore the profound philosophies of Buddhism and how we can apply them in our daily lives to find true peace and mental strength. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel Cultivating the Mind to not miss out on valuable content about Buddhism, meditation, and methods that help nurture the soul and enhance mental strength. Together, we will continue to learn, practice, and transform. Please hit subscribe and turn on notifications to join me on this journey of nurturing consciousness, seeking true peace and strength from within.